Hi guys, I wanted to share with you a self-imposed challenge that I want to do to make a few junk journals. While I was sick recently, I fell down the rabbit hole of YouTube, and I kept seeing I'm a Cool Mom's Dollar Tree Junk Journal Challenge. Now this challenge is over. It's been over for months, but I was just sort of intrigued by going and finding everything you could for a set amount of money from one place and then seeing what you could do with it. Jessica's challenge was to spend $15. Extremely challenging to do a junk journal from scratch on $15 of supplies from the Dollar Tree, or at least it was for me. So my self-imposed challenge was to spend no more than $20. My plan is to make 3 journals. So I thought I'd share with you the supplies, and then I'll come back when I'm done with the journals and show you what happened with them. Now, I kept seeing all these journal hauls. These people were finding fantastic stuff. They were finding scrapbook type papers and stickers and fabric scarves and everything. We have 3 Dollar Trees in our town. We have a small one, what I call a little medium one, and then a larger one. I live closest to the small one. I don't live in town. I live outside city limits. The largest one is way on the west side of town, and then the medium one is kind of halfway between the two on the east side. And I decided to just go to the smallest Dollar Tree that was near me to kind of limit my choices, and boy, did I limit myself. I went in on a day that it seemed like everything was picked over. I couldn't find anything that I was looking for. So this is kind of what I came up with. And the first thing I got was one of these reusable bags. And this stuff is actually quite heavy, and it's sewn. So my thought was that I would have both of these sides could be a cover, a soft cover for soft cover journals. That if I meticulously do this bag and take it apart right, these ends here, if I cut these out, I can get 6 tags out of this that I can back with some paper. So I can get 6 tags on this side and 6 tags on this side. Then the bottom gusset, if you cut it right, you can get, if you cut it through here and along these lines, you can get 4 corner tuck spots on each side. So that gives you 8 corner tucks and 2 pockets. Plus you have tabs at the top that can be used for closures, and you have this ribbon thing, ribbon handles that you could even use to tie your book. So 2 of the journals are going to be soft cover and out of this, and the third one is going to be a hardbound journal. So I did find a hardbound book, and I was really just looking for the book color because this was the color I wanted. This was my jumping off or inspiration point when I was in the store. I saw these note cards with these flowers on them. I loved all the colors. It's been so gray and dark here and rainy this winter that I thought, I just need some springtime. I need some pops of color. So this was my inspiration. And I took these note cards and kind of went through the store to match whatever I could. So I thought that these would be great journaling pages. This is vinyl. I mean, it's really, this is a heavy book cover and it's vinyl. So that could be made into something. I'm not sure what that'll be used for. But, and I've also got the book pages themselves that can be made over into tags or pockets or different things. So once I deconstruct the book, I can also use these pages. Now I'm not going to do any tea dyeing or staining or anything like that. Everything's just going to remain the same color. So for my pages in the book, I got a composition book, and this is the kind that is sewn in the middle so that you can take the stitches out and still have a good stretch of paper to rebind in your other book. And you can always put some washi tape or something along the binding. So I got just normal lined notebook, because these are going to be journals to be written in. These are not really going to be the foofy, fussy kind of journals. These are more to actually be used for writing. I did find this adult coloring book that was about flowers, and I like the pages on it because they can be folded, and then you can have the design on one side and just blank on the other. So, and for the third paper in the book, I found one of these sketch pads, just the 9x12 sketch pad, and I like that it had this on the back, the cardboard, because that makes good tags and things that can be covered, and it's just white paper. So those are going to be my pages and my covers. Then I'm going to use, I do have a couple of things specific. The big one's going to be mine, and the two smaller ones are gifts. This, I got the clasp envelopes and some file folders, because I do need some storage space in my book. Whether these will go in the small ones, I'm not sure, but I do for sure need that for my book. And I got these blank note cards. There's 8 in there with 8 envelopes, and another set that kind of coordinated in color. And so there's 16 of each. You know, I've got 16 cards and 16 envelopes to play with there. And also for tags or little tuck spots, I found this sticky note pad, and I really like the green of it. So that's pretty much going to be my pages. Now, I was trying to find something, anything for images. I looked for a children's book. I looked for, I looked for everything. There was nothing available. And I did run across this in the teaching section. And it has 23 pieces. This is a little banner and these little books and the border to do a bulletin board. Just little die cuts. So the poster part will be great for just backing tags or anything like that. I'll probably use that for excess things, this part. It'll just be covered up. The little bunny's kind of cute, isn't he? But, so that's a good piece of cardboard to use for something. I've already been playing a little bit with the borders. There are all these little book plates. They just look like little books. Those would make great big journaling tags to tuck in. And I think there's 10 or 12 of them. There's quite a few, and the colors were just perfect. Now, the little borders are a little wild. They're this blue, crazy blue color. And so I was trying to figure out, I wanted to use them, but I didn't really have any scrapbook paper or anything. There was no choices. So I got this nail polish. And I've been playing with them a little bit. And I really like the way this nail polish blends into this and just leaves this streaky, antique-y rustic on the back side of this. And if you cut them correctly, you can either have a pocket and a small tuck, or you can cut them like this and have 3 small tuck spaces. So I played with those with some fingernail polish because I could not find any paint. There was no kids craft paint, there was no adult craft paint, there were no any kind of paint. So I got fingernail polish and played with that, and I've played with a couple of other designs. So those are going to act as embellishments for the book. And it ended up being kind of a butterfly flower thing. And while I was in that department with the nail polish, I found this nail kit. And it has these little tiny glass bottles full of glitter and glue and, you know, all the stuff to do the nail art. So I thought either I would use the glitter, I might use glitter, you know, do some designs on some of the pages or something, or I could even use these to make little paper clips or dangles or something. Anyway, I liked the colors of that also with this, so that was another thing I got. I couldn't find any stickers or anything, but I did find these gift bags. And I liked the butterflies, and I thought these could be fussy cut out, and this could be my image. So the book is basically going to be butterflies and flowers, I guess. There's way more bags here than I need. I'll probably only need one of them. I don't think I'm going to need that many butterflies, but that was how they came. And I also found, for a fabric element, I couldn't find anything that was fabric, but I did find this chamois that had this brilliant orange color. So I thought I could freeform cut some little things from this, some flowers, and possibly use the little glitter nail kit to do a center in the flower. And those could decorate pages if, you know, if I want to do that. The other thing I got, which I'm not sure that this is even going to be used, but just in case, is this plastic plant, and it's butterflies. They've got all these little well, they had glitter on them. I think most of the glitter rubbed off. They had some glitter on them, but this one I took off, and I peeled the plastic part off his wing and clipped it and clipped him off. And I'm hoping that I can glitter their bodies or do something with their bodies. And I have an idea of how I can use these as embellishment in the book. So these are iffy. These are seriously iffy. So I don't know if those will get used or not. I did pick up some ribbon. I picked up this orange twine that I thought was really cute. Some cream sheer ribbon. And then this blue ribbon, and it's wired, so I have an idea of, I know how to slide the wire out of this ribbon, so I've got an idea of how I can maybe use that. And then for binding, I did get some baker's twine. They had it in the three for $1 pack. So that was my exact $20 of what I was going to use. Now when Jessica did her challenge, she said you were supposed to spend $15, and the only things allowed in the challenge other than your Dollar Tree items were your scissors, your binding supplies, and your glue. Now, I noticed a lot of people in this challenge went over and they used ink or they used rubber stamps or whatever. Well, I'm only challenging myself. So I am going to use a couple things from my own stash to just add to this. And this is, honestly, for me, this is extravagant. I don't go out and buy supplies like this to make a journal. I have a studio full of supplies. I usually use what I have. And this really isn't my style. So these wouldn't be things I would normally go out and do. But I'm going to give it a go and see how it comes out. Let me pause for just a second, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to add from my stash. Well, I'm going to add a couple things from my own supplies just to finish this out. And I thought I would show you what that was going to be. I was going to use, I have these two little daisy stamps and this little butterfly stamp. I guess I could have zoomed in so you could see them. And I'm going to use 3 of my inks, the Morocco, the Peanut Brittle, and the Teal Zeal. They stamp out in these colors, which I thought would look really pretty with all the color we have going on here. And these would kind of decorate up some of the white pages if I could just add some stamping. Because I'm using that paper that I'm going to take apart out of the composition book, I may need to add some tape. So I have some washi tape that I already own, you know, it's left over from projects. And I am going to add a few pieces of leftover project paper. I don't use a lot of scrapbook paper. I mostly work with vintage items and real vintage papers and things, so I don't use a lot of scrapbook stuff, but these were left over from a little album that I had made for someone. So I had a couple of the yellow left, and I had a little bit of this cardstock left, and a little bit of this polka dot left, and I had a little bit of this pad left, because these aren't colors that I normally work in. So and my other idea with this was that I could, you know, take the white side and just do some of my stamping on these. So I have the option of, you know, burnishing some of them, and I have another couple of ideas with the nail polish too. So I'm going to add this paper and some white gesso. And the reason I'm bringing gesso in is because when I use these papers out of this book, I want to be able to write on them if I put them in there. So I will be doing a patch of light gesso so that you can write right over this. And this will be just like a blended in background. So I am going to bring in some gesso. And as far as my tools that I'm going to use scissors. I'm going to use my bookbinding tools, you know, my bone folder, needles, things like that, my bookbinding tools. And the only other two things that I probably will be using a hole punch, and this is a maybe, is a corner rounder. So that is everything. I'm not adding anything else to this. Oh, I did forget my clips. I found these butterfly clips on clearance a while back at Hobby Lobby. These are butterfly paper clips. So that was those were my paper clip embellishment. So, and I've just had these tucked back in my stash. So I'm going to go and start working on this, and I'll come back and show you the finished journal.